Just about everything travels on Union Pacific trains. Everything in your house, everything you eat or touch, the chair you're sitting in, the pencil you're holding. Chances are good they all spent some time in some form on a Union Pacific train. Union Pacific delivers everything Americans depend on, from food and fuel to chemicals, building supplies, metals, minerals, and automobiles. We supply the American way of life. And that's been our mission from the start. When Union Pacific was formed in 1862 by an act of Congress signed by Abraham Lincoln himself, our first order of business was to complete the Transcontinental Railroad, to connect the nation east to west. We continue to be the railroad that brings Americans closer together, that connects people and places, and helps communities grow and thrive. Today, Union Pacific delivers far and wide, linking every major West Coast and Gulf Coast port to the eastern part of the country, through Chicago, St. Louis, Memphis, and New Orleans. We're North America's premier railroad, serving all 6 gateways to Mexico and interchanging traffic with Canada. Though the nature of our business has remained the same for about 150 years, Union Pacific is always progressing and growing, and looking for better ways to serve our customers and communities. Technological advances have made our railroad safer, greener, and more efficient than ever. We're most proud of our environmental breakthroughs. Trains are already one of the greenest ways to ship. A double-stack train can take up to 300 trucks off the road, and Union Pacific is leading the industry in green technology. In the engineering department, we're recycling wooden cross ties and replacing them with longer-lasting concrete ties. The new TRT 909 track replacement train can install up to 3,000 ties in an 8-hour day. The TRT 909 rips up the old wooden ties and rail and installs new concrete ties and new steel rail all in one pass. We're recycling those old spikes and rails and even cleaning and reusing the ballast around the tracks. Like our environmental efforts, Union Pacific's safety policies are rooted in our deep respect for each other and for the communities where we live and work. The engineering department uses a program called Total Safety Culture. For us, total safety culture means safety first, always. It means we look out for each other. When you join Union Pacific, you are entitled to a wide spectrum of benefits and programs, from paid holidays and health insurance, to tools, personal protective equipment, and access to nationally recognized wellness programs. Because of this emphasis on safety and wellness, in many states, Union Pacific will not hire you if you smoke cigarettes or cigars, or use any other product containing tobacco. Smoking is not allowed on company property, including buildings, sidewalks, and vehicles, or at company meetings. We have a zero-tolerance policy for drugs and alcohol. Jobs are subject to testing at any time. The wondrous achievement of the Transcontinental Railroad wasn't in building the trains. It was in laying the track. And our track is still the heart of Union Pacific's business. It's our reach, our capacity, and our foundation. And that's because of the hard work of the engineering department. When you think about the infrastructure and equipment that make up our railroad, the engineering department is responsible for just about everything but the trains. We build and maintain the roadway, the signals, the bridges and buildings, and take care of the railroad's entire system of track. Every year, we replace about 4 million ties and 1,000 miles of rail. This level of maintenance is critical. Problems on one length of track can delay and tangle traffic across our entire system. And even more importantly, regular maintenance is the best way to prevent injuries and accidents on the rails. Depending on your experience and education, you might be eligible for one of these engineering department careers. These jobs are all union jobs, so your pay, benefits, and responsibilities will be determined by labor union agreements. There are a few skills and abilities that you must have even to be considered for a job in the engineering department. You will, of course, be expected to work with tools, vehicles, and track equipment. And communication is vital throughout the engineering department. You must be able to read, write, and speak English. This will be necessary not just in day-to-day communication with coworkers, but in following written instructions, interpreting government regulations, keeping written records, and compiling reports. Good communication is also a powerful way to promote safety. In the engineering department, we expect you to keep your safety and your coworkers' safety at the top of your mind at all times. In fact, everyone in the engineering department performs a risk assessment before beginning any task. No matter what your role is in the engineering department, you will receive extensive training both in the classroom and on the job. We'll make sure you have the knowledge and skills you need to do your job safely and well. If you continue to excel, you will have opportunities to advance within the department and the company. Maintaining North America's largest system of rails is a never-ending endeavor. The railroad operates rain and snow 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And so do our engineering crews. We work outdoors in all sorts of weather, even in the wake of natural disasters like mudslides, fires, and floods. It's challenging work, but extremely rewarding. Union Pacific's engineering department keeps our railroad moving, and our railroad powers the nation. Union Pacific invests more than $1 billion on track improvements. As a track laborer, you'll make those improvements. Track laborers are assigned to either a system, regional, or service unit gang. System gangs are expected to travel. They work in all of our 23 operating states, focusing on large projects, the kind that take months or years to plan. Regional and service unit gangs specialize in one aspect of railroad maintenance, and depending on the assignment, usually cover an area of about 500 miles. This is an entry-level position. All track laborers work outdoors, removing and replacing ties, pulling and driving spikes, and shoveling rock ballast. You'll handle equipment that weighs up to 75 pounds and help others handle even heavier equipment. As an assistant signal person, you might work in a new construction gang, installing wayside or highway grade crossing signals, or in a track maintenance gang, testing and repairing existing signals. Assistant signal person is an entry-level position, and it's heavy work, digging holes and trenches, setting poles, loading and unloading heavy equipment and cable, as well as climbing the signals themselves to troubleshoot. Signal maintainers do much of the same work as assistant signal persons, but this is a more advanced position. Signal maintainers are experts on Union Pacific's system of signals and grade crossing warning devices. As a signal maintainer, you will test, maintain, and troubleshoot problems throughout an assigned territory. Union Pacific has thousands of bridges along its more than 32,000 miles of track, and our engineering department is responsible for every one. Bridge and building carpenters maintain the material aspects of the bridges, and bridge and building electricians maintain the electrical elements. As a bridge and building carpenter, an entry-level position, your responsibilities will be construction, maintenance, and repair. To become a bridge and building electrician, we require that you have a state journeyperson electrician's license with 4 years of experience, including work on outdoor power distribution systems, outdoor overhead lighting systems, and inside power systems. And you must be able to get a commercial driver's license. As a bridge and building electrician, you will troubleshoot electrical control circuits. You'll work on large machinery such as pumping systems, air compressors and movable bridges, on indoor and outdoor lighting systems, and on electrical construction, including conduit and wiring. As a work equipment mechanic, you'll service the equipment we use to maintain track. You'll actually follow the teams that maintain the track and repair any machinery that breaks down. As a work equipment mechanic, you may be assigned to work in the shop or outdoors in the field. You may have to travel. To be considered for this position, depending on the relevant labor agreement, you may have to possess an IAM Journey Person diesel mechanics card, or you may have to have 4 years of comparable experience as a diesel mechanic. It helps to have experience with pneumatic, hydraulic, and electrical systems, and to be able to read schematics, though applicants with experience in other fields will be considered. You'll also need a valid driver's license. If you're interested in this type of work but don't have the experience, you may be interested in becoming an apprentice work equipment mechanic. You could also work as a helper, taking care of equipment, tools, and the shop. To qualify for many of the advanced positions in the engineering department, you must pass a skilled craft battery test. In some instances, the test will be given at a hiring session or with a third-party vendor. You will then be scheduled for an interview. During this process, you can check your application status at our online Applicant Account Center. If you receive a job offer, you must then successfully complete a medical exam and background check. You may also be asked to take a physical ability test. If you accept a position in the engineering department, you'll be joining a team of people with vastly different work and life experiences. We value these differences and make every effort to provide a work environment in which every employee is treated fairly and with respect. These values are reflected in our affirmative action and equal opportunity policy. When you join Union Pacific, you join our mission to connect and support communities across America. It's an opportunity to make an excellent living while learning and growing, and an opportunity to be part of something bigger than yourself, to be part of the railroad that is building America.
Track inspectors go out, inspect tracks, making sure we have safe passage for trains and engines and maintenance away.
We repair track, change ties, change rail, any maintenance on track we do it.
My name is Amir Matlock. Been on the railroad for 9 years. And I operate machinery.
I am known as a section man out here, which is where we work on the track and we handle the hand tools and we work with safety.
What I do is I'm learning to kind of become an MTM, and it's just a various amount of training that I have to do for about a year, and then a couple months of an associate phase, and after that they assign me a position.
What I enjoy about my job is I'm able to be a first responder in certain tasks as I've broken rails and help team players out, getting the trains rolling again.
I like coming to work. I like the guys I work with, the safe environment we have.
What I like about my job is different tasks as far as installing ties through various tracks, switches, and stuff like that.
The fact that you get to learn different things, you get new experiences. Nothing out here is ever the same. You get different employees you get to work with, different tools.
What I like is I'm outdoors. I've always wanted to work outdoors, work with my hands, and I get to work with these guys on the gangs, and they teach me everything I need to know. And you know, I might have a college degree, but you come out here and you don't know a lot about railroad, and these guys have 30+ years with it. So they've been helpful with teaching me everything I need to know.
Without these trains moving all this product across the country, I don't know what else how they'd be able to get across.
We put a lot of pride into our work. We'll be out here many hours of the day sometimes at night, on holidays and snow, but we still are all working as a team to get the job done. We're all working for one thing.
First, I wanted to come to work for the Union Pacific Railroad. I want to exceed, excel. We got great benefits, great group of guys to work for.
You're going to work with teams, so if you're good at, thinking on the spot, working with other people, and most importantly, being safe. Watching out for others and watching out for yourself. And if you can do all those things, this is a company for you.
The fact that you are around the trains and you do get to see really how they transport stuff, and the fact that it gets to go not just here in North Platte, but all over. You don't get stuck in one town or one state. You get to see everything. You get to see the United States just for working out here.